We are currently living in the days of great revelation and also great deception. There is so much abundance, but there's never been so much poverty. There's so much knowledge, but there's never been so much ignorance. This is why we look to the past so that we can see the future. The ancestors are found in Genesis and they're revealed in Revelation. This is Genesis 10. So in Genesis 10, we've briefly spoken about Japheth, we've briefly spoken about Ham, and we've also spoken about Shem. So when we look at Ham and Shem, it's the story of how they were given opportunities for them to be linked together, to be hemmed together in the different stories. So when we look at the different ancestors here, I'm talking about the Bantu ancestors here. So I'm going to be focusing on the land of Ham, which is Africa, and the sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, and then I'm going to talk about the children later. So here, I want to talk about this. Where's my highlighter? Right there. Wow, it just flashed. It's looking different today. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel. All right, this is very important. Again, it's just flashing. All right. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad. And if you can hear Erech, and Akkad, Acadia, and Kalna in the land of Shinar, and out of that land went out Ashur. Sounds like Assyria, but then here we know Ashur is also found in the names of Shem. So this is why we speak about them being hemmed. And he built Nineveh. You remember Nineveh from the story of Jonah? That city, great city, Nineveh. And the city of Rehoboth and Kala and Rezin, between Nineveh and Kala. The same is a great city, right? And then Mizraim began Ludum and everything. So Mizraim, as we've already spoken about, this is the other person. This is a son, but Nimrod was a grandson. But with Mizraim, this means in blue. This means Egypt. So here I just want us to bring our attention to the fact that the Bible is clearly saying, in the beginning, what is known as the first kingdom on the earth, Babylon. When we look at Wikipedia, this was created by the son of Ham. Ham, as we've already discovered in the video, just go through the video and see the information that's mind-blowing about Ham. And the name of Cush just means black, as we've already seen. This is also where we get the words like Cushan. And then his brother, and then the brother is Mizraim, which is also is Egypt, which is where we get the words like Luxor and luxury. These were the people, because Nimrod began to be a mighty one in the earth. So the first king on the earth was a black king. This is from this ilk of these Africans. So from that, this is where we get Babylon. But Nimrod was the child of Cush. Cush begat Nimrod, okay? And also, when we look at Shem, we look at the same. So we see that Shem was the father of all of the children of Eber. So this is Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even unto him were born. Okay, so this is now saying Japheth the firstborn, and then the Ham, and then Shem. They all had children. And Shem also, in the same way, we talk about Eber. And when we talk about Eber, this is also where we talk about the Bantu ancestors as well. This is where we talk about what is called Hebrew. Eber, Heber, Hebrew, Heber. Okay. Into this is why The land of Ham is important, and when we talk about Ham, we also talk about the ancestors such as Abraham. Okay. So here we just see that in the beginning, the name of Abraham was Abram. All right. And then look at where he is living in the Ur of the Chaldeans. Okay. But let's move on. So now this is Genesis 13, verse 1. Remember, we're looking at the past to see the future, Genesis and Revelation. And Abram, okay, before you use Abraham, he went out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, Lot with him, into the south. So this is clear that when you're looking at the map of Egypt, and then you see that the arrow pointing down from Egypt, you see that going south is going into Africa. Okay, so this is where he went according to the Bible. So here in Genesis 17 verse 5, it says, "Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham." So this is where we get the word Ham. And then we also see the connection in the land of Ham. He went to Egypt. And then we also see this connection with the children of Abraham. And this is the land of Ham. "For a father of many nations have I made thee." And it is interesting that all of the nations come from Abraham. And they also come from Ephraim, which is Africa, Ham, the land of Ham. So now we're going deeper into Abraham's descendants through Keturah. You want to see this in the First Chronicles. "And again, Abraham took a wife, and the name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan." And Jokshan sounds like Joktan, the one where the world was split up. This is the son of Shem and Sheba. This is where we get the queen of Sheba and Dedan. And then we know that the queen of Sheba is, all right, we'll talk about that later. But then the wife that he took here, Keturah, no one really knows about this genealogy. But then this is why I'm talking about the forefathers in the book of Genesis. This is a revelation that a lot of people actually don't even know or even understand. And I'm actually going to go deeper into this because it's so important and so interesting and so amazing. But we're going to get to that when we get to that. Right now we're here. And the sons of Midian were Ephah. So Ephah and Ephah, this is where we get the word Ephah, Africa, when you go to the etymology of the word Africa. And Hanok and Abida, Abuja, Eldaz, okay, and these are the children of Keturah. And here again, this is a story Joseph sold into Egypt. And I've spoken about this before. And I'm going to go here because I've just spoken about the Midianites, 28, right, in yellow, bright yellow. "Then they passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph to Egypt." Again, we're in the land of Ham, and again, we're talking about the Midianites. But the Midianites, as I said before, like, they're a very interesting subject for me. So this is another part as well, that Joseph was made to rule in Egypt, which is the land of Ham. And here, Genesis 41:44, and Pharaoh, let me put it in blue. "And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in the land of Egypt." So this is where he was, in the land of Ham, the land of Egypt. "And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaptaphneah, and he gave him to wife Asnath, the daughter of Potiphar's priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt." And this is the priest of On. This is the On. This is the also where we get the reference of the Bantu people who were also called this priesthood. So this priesthood, the priest of On, this was actually married to Joseph in Ham. And they actually had children. And unto Joseph, right, were born 2 sons, right? Again, Unto Joseph were born two sons before the years of famine came, which Asnath, the daughter of Potiphar's, the priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of his firstborn Manasseh, for God said, He has made me forget my toil and my father's house. And the name of the second son he called Ephraim, and God caused him to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. So this is what, when I was saying, the blessing of Joseph is also going to the blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh and all of that. And this is how we see that this, in the land of Ham, these are so many references to the land of Ham. This is in the land of Egypt. This is where this is all happening. And this is the blessing of God. This is happening to Joseph, whatever blessing that he has. So here we see Genesis 48 and Israel. Now we're seeing these names meaning places. Abraham, land of Ham; Israel, this land of Shem, which is hemmed or the same. But this is why Shem remains the same. All right. But Ham needs to be hemmed. He needs to be attached. So this is what happened. And Joseph said unto his father, and Israel beheld Joseph's sons, the ones we just mentioned from the priestess of On, okay, the Bantu, which is the Antu, okay. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, These are my sons, who God has given me in this place, in the land of Ham. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. So this now goes on to how he blessed them. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger. And he left his hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac. So now we're talking about ancestry. So this is now the ancestral blessing. And we also see that even Abraham, he came through Egypt. Isaac went to Egypt. You remember, this is Isaac and Rebekah, and he was lying that this is not my wife. They were in Egypt. Same thing happened to Abraham. So the same thing, this is what I'm saying. The theme is about being shammed and hemmed in the same way. Abraham, Isaac, they did walk. God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long until this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, which is Israel. So let my name be on them. This is the children of the priestess of On with Joseph. And let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. Okay, so this is now the ancestry. This is how we're being hemmed. Can you hear this? This is happening in the land of Ham. And let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. This is the middle of the earth, is literally Africa, actually. And when Joseph saw that, so this is the blessing that they actually got. And we all know how important the blessing in the Hebrew understanding means. So this is a very, very important meaning. And this meaning, or this blessing, is also attached to the blessing of the father, which is Joseph's blessing. He will be a fruitful bow. And how fruitful is here? This is amazing. But let's move on. So here, this is also very interesting. This is Jacob's prophecy concerning his sons. So these are also the blessings and the prophecies. And when we do go through this, we see that Judah, I'm not going to go through all of them for the sake of time, but then I do know that they're all linked to the different tribes within Africa. You can look at it in the Bantu book, right? So